For today's lesson, we are going to solve multi-step equations. And again, when you solve any equation, you need to possibly simplify one or both sides first. And then, as always, use inverse operations to isolate your variable. Remember, you're always solving for a positive variable. And then make sure you solve and check. Again, the check you can do on your own, but you should know for sure whether your answer is correct before you ever hand in a paper. So right now on the left-hand side, I've got some like terms here. So 8x minus 3x is 5x, minus 10 equal to negative 20. Add 10 to both sides, and then you're going to get 5x equals negative 10. Try to bring this up a little bit. Divide both sides by 5, and x equals negative 2. Again, you can check on your own if you like. I'll show you a quick check on this one. Checking does not have to be shown out. You can do it in your head, whatever it might be, but you should always definitely check. So the first thing you're going to do is 8 times negative 2 minus 3 times negative 2 minus 10. Does that equal negative 20? That's a 20. And so what's happening here is when I multiply 8 times negative 2, I get negative 16. When I multiply negative 3 times negative 2, I get positive 6 minus 10. This right here becomes negative 10 minus 10, and negative 20 does in fact equal negative 20, so it goes. So that's why we know that this answer for x is correct. Next one, distributive properties. You need to realize that your distributive property starts and stops where that parenthesis is. So if I were to just kind of show you, put on the highlighter here. Okay, so really, this is what I'm going to deal with when I talk about distributive property. So I know that I'm distributing in a positive 2. So what happens is I'm going to get 2x minus 12. What I did means I need to bring down. And it was 7x plus, and then it was negative 39. I've got some like terms on this left-hand side. 9x minus 12 equals negative 39. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. 9x equals negative, in this case 27. Divide both sides by 9. X equals negative 3. Okay, next problem. Again, distributive property. But you got to be careful because what happens is now you're distributing in a negative value. So I can bring down my 5x, not a problem. But now when I distribute in here, I get negative 4x plus 12, and that's equal to 17. Like terms on the same side is just 1x plus 12 equals 17. Subtract 12, and x is just 5. Next one. So on this next one, so you can do one of two things. You can either distribute in that 1/2 into your parentheses, or you can clear the fraction first. I'll do it both ways. If you distribute into the parentheses, half of 10 is 5, half of negative 4x is negative 2x, and you get 15. Subtract 5 on both sides, negative 2x equals 10. Divide both sides by negative 2, and x equals negative 5. For those of you guys that want to clear your fraction first, we've talked about doing that a lot as well. I'm just going to rewrite this over. So if you're going to clear your fraction first, then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply both sides by 2. What happens is just that the 2 times the 1/2, they cancel out. You're just left with this 10 minus 4x. The parentheses are no longer necessary because you've already gotten rid of that number to be distributed in. And then don't forget on the other side, it's going to be 15 times 2, which is just 30. So it looks different, but when you actually solve it, subtract 10 on both sides, and you get negative 4x equals 20, and you divide by negative 4. Your answer is the exact same. So again, you need to choose what's better for you. Number 5. Now it's a 2/3 as your fraction. So here, again, I would prefer to just get rid of the denominator, because if I distribute, I'm going to be stuck with a whole bunch of fractions that I don't like. So I need to worry about getting rid of the denominator. The denominator to get rid of is a 3. Now, the 3 cancels out the other 3. What you're left with is 2 outside the parentheses of 2x plus 5. And don't forget, you have to distribute on both sides, negative 30. Now you can actually go back to what you're used to, 4x plus 10, negative 30. Subtract 10 from both sides. 4x is negative 40. Divide both sides by 4. And x is negative 10. Okay? So that's it for today's lesson, and good luck on the homework.